Can you follow me? Tassa ime bhagave Ariyavasa. Yeriya awasain suwa awasandiwa awasai sandiwa kadame dasa ida bhagave bhikkhu pinjinga we bino hodi chalinga samanagato ekarakho chatura basino panona bijega sijo samawaya satisano anawila singapore pasada gaya singkaro suwimoda jaito suwimoda binyo. Mahasisya aphorism, follow me. To abandon the 5 factors, to be fulfilled with the 6 factors, and 1 protection. To depend on the 4 supports, and to dispel personal truths, to be free from searching, to have pure thoughts, to calm the in and out breath, to have a well-liberated mind, and well-liberated wisdom. The fully enlightened Buddha expounded the 10 features of Ariyavasa. So number 3, Ariyavasa is Ekareko. Buddha said, a bhikkhus is endowed with a mind guarded by sati, mindfulness. Satarakina cetasa samanagata hodi. The guard at the Ariyavasa is mindfulness. If we want to dwell in this Ariyavasa, we need to have our mind, every single state of mind, guarded by mindfulness. So it is only an Arahant who can be endowed with perfect mindfulness. The Arahant is mindful of whatever he or she does physically, whatever he or she does verbally or mentally. So Arahant's mind is well guarded by mindfulness. Be mindful constantly. Arahant never does anything bad, never speak anything wrong, never think of anything sinful. So yogi are practicing like Arahant. You 20 hours mindful the whole day, physically, verbally, mentally, all behavior mindful. Yogi are like an Arahant. Now Arahant is praised in these words. Tassa charato jiva ditta Toja, Sutta Saja, Jagara Saja, Satatan, Samitan, Jnana Dasana, Pijupatita. Whether going, standing, sleeping, or awakening, Arahant is constantly endowed with knowledge and vision. So because of always mindful, constantly mindful, what happened? The mind of an Arahant who is confronted with worldly condition, ups and downs of life, or who is confronted with worldly vicissitude, does not flutter, is sorrowless, stainless, and secure. So this is from Mingala Sutta, very highest blessing. Mingala Sutta, the last blessing of Arahant. There are 28 blessings in Mingala Sutta. The last one is Phuddasa Logadame Chaitan Yasa Nakampati Asokan. Asokan is sorrowless, Virajan stainless, Khemam secure. This is the highest blessing of an Arahant. Yogi are practicing in this way, trying to be mindful of everything, constantly mindful. The whole day you are mindful. Yogi wants to be an Arahant because Arahant is sorrowless, Arahant is stainless and secure. Whenever you want, you confronted with the worldly condition, ups and downs of life, you don't want any sorrow, you don't want any stain, you don't want fluttering. So this is the results of the constantly mindfulness. Even though you are not Arahant, when you practice, observing every phenomena occurring at the six senses, seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, and knowing, or walking, sitting, standing, stretching, bending. Every phenomena you encounter and you try to be mindful, a yogi try to distinguish nama and rupa, mind and metta process. And because of your continuous noting, you understand that these phenomena are changing all the time. They are appearing and disappearing continuously. Because of that, they are really unsatisfactory and not controllable. At that moment, when you confronted with worldly condition, you do not flutter, you have no sorrow, you have no stains, and you are totally secure, like an Arahant. So the highest blessing of Arahant, because of his constant mindfulness, So we need to remember the highest blessing of Arahant. Can you follow me? The mind of an Arahant who is confronted with worldly condition does not flutter, is sorrowless, stainless, and secure. This is the highest blessing of Arahant. The mind of an Arahant who is confronted with worldly condition does not flutter, is sorrowless, stainless, and secure. This is the highest blessing of Arahant. So Arahant mindfulness is constant, so very good results. So that mindfulness does not suddenly lead to the full enlightenment, like something that suddenly appears from the sky. But mindfulness gradually develops. Arahant attained perfect mindfulness because he or she had developed as an anagami. In the same way, anagami mindfulness is almost perfect because his or her mindfulness, he or she had developed mindfulness as Sakadagami. As Sakadagami mindfulness must be also credited to the mindfulness developed as a Satavana. And Satavana's mindfulness is very remarkable in comparison with Pudujana, ordinary worldly people. So such significance mindfulness or Satavana mental defilements are never strong enough to commit evil deeds that can lead to woeful states. Satavanas, they have kilesa. They have certain kinds of mental defilements such as kama raga, sensual desire, pyavara aversion, moha delusion, conceit mana, etc. But their defilements are never strong enough to commit evil deeds like killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, etc. Their mental defilements decrease both in degree and frequency. Why? Because they train very well, they practice very well. They have a mind guided by powerful mindfulness. Now here, yogis are practicing and developing mindfulness all the time. Yogi can realize that from their own experience. At least we need to have faith in what the Buddha himself spoke in praise of Satavana. Buddha said that a Satavana never does any demerits that can lead to woeful states. So if yogi develop mindfulness to a remarkable extent, you will realize how well it acts in nature as a vigilant protection. So let me elaborate this point. A Satavana would crave for an object if desirable and would be disliking, would be a dislike if undesirable, because Satavana is not yet free from greed and hatred, but they always become mindful of such unwholesome states and keeps them under control before they become violent. So the defilements of Satavana would lose their momentum because mindfulness getting strengthened and capture that mental defilements. So Satavana never go violent, unlike in the case of common people. For sure, a Satavana would be lustful or angry occasionally, but these mental defilements are never strong enough to make him or her capable of killing, stealing, daily lies, etc. So Buddha said that Satavana does not commit any evil deeds that can lead to woeful states. So in Dhamma Dasa Sutta, Dhamma Miral Sermon, Buddha said in this way, Ida Ananda Ariyasa Bodhi Avijja Pasadina Samanagato Hoti Itipi So Bhagawa Arhan Sama Sambuddho Vijajana Sambano Sugato Loka Vidu Nudaro Purisa Dhamma Sarati Satta Deva Manusana Buddha Bhagavati. Buddha said, Ananda, a noble disciple has unshakable faith in the Buddha. In this way, because of this, the fully enlightened because of this, the blessed one is called Arhan, etc. And this is the first one. And second one is noble disciple has unshakable faith in the Dhamma. In this way, Swakata Bhagavad Dharma, etc. And that one is a noble disciple has unshakable faith in the Sangha. Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaga Sangha, etc. Number 4 quality is the noble disciple is endowed with the virtues cherished by the noble ones, unbroken, untorn, unblemished, unmortal, liberated, praised by the wise, and grasps conducive to concentration. So 4 qualities of the Satavana: faith in the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, and pure Sila. 4 qualities. So yogi can check the Satavana or not. If you are accomplished with these 4 qualities, you are Satavana. So this is from Dhamma Dasa Sutta, Dhamma Miral Sermon. So a noble disciple who meets this Dhamma mirror criteria may declare in this way, I am no longer prone to be reborn as a hell, an animal, a hungry ghost, or a demon. I am a Satavana, no longer destined to woeful states. My attainment is irreversible. I'm just predestined to higher attainment. That means Sakadagami Mega, Nagami Mega, and Arhata Mega, higher attainments. So here we want to emphasize is morality cherished by Ariya Ganda Sila. Now yogi are observing the 8 precepts. These Sila you are observing are cherished by noble ones. So during observing these precepts, you are like an Ariya. You are partially Ariyas, even though you are not Ariya. You can be considered as Ariya partially. Because the Ariyas are practiced by these precepts, Sila are practiced by Ariya, cherished by Ariyas. So Ariya Kanda Sila, virtue cherished by the noble ones, means the Sila loved by enlightened one. The Sila cherished or adored by enlightened ones. The Ariyas, noble ones, never violate the 5 precepts, even in their lives after death. It is how much Ariya cherish that Sila. So such terms as unbroken Sila, untorn Sila, etc. are used in figurative sense. For example, a bowl. A bowl with damage at its mouth is called Kanta in Bali. A bowl with a hole in the cup is called Cheda in Bali. A cow with mortal skin is called Sabala in Bali. A cow with different patches is called Gamasa in Bali. In the same way, the person of the Sila, but his or her virtue is called Kanda, because the first Sila, Banadipata, or the last precepts, Sura Miraya, drinking alcohol, is violated. So his Sila not pure. And Cheda, that means if his or her Sila is middle precepts is violated. That means Kamesumechachara, he violated the Kamesumechachara, sexual misconducts. And Sabala, if 2 or 3 constitutive precepts are violated, that is not pure. And if every other precepts are violated, his or her virtues is not pure. And the virtues of a Satavana is free such defect. And so conducive to jhanic concentration and upachara samadhi, neighborhood concentration. So these Pali texts and commentaries show clearly that Satavana Sila, Satavana moral purity remains intact even after death and necessarily conducive to the attainment of concentration. Samadhi samvittanikehi. So in the sermon given to Anatta Bendika, a millionaire, documented in Connected Discourses, Samyutta Nikaya, and in the Numerical Discourses in Gautara Nikaya, Buddha mentions the four chief attributes of a Satavana. As mentioned in the Dhammadasa Sutta, Dhamma Mirror Sermon. Furthermore, he pointed out as Satavana's freedom from five kinds of fearful foes, fearful dangers that beset anyone who violates any of the five precepts. So at one time, the householder Anatta Bendika approached the Buddha. He paid homage to fully enlightened Buddha and sat down to one side, and Buddha said to Anatta Bendika, householder, when five kinds of fearful foes have subsided in the noble disciple and he is endowed with four factors of string entry, and he has clearly seen and thoroughly penetrated with wisdom this noble method. If he wishes, he could by himself declare of himself, I'm no longer liable to be reborn in the hell. I'm no longer liable to be reborn in the animal kingdom. I'm no longer liable to be reborn in the hungry ghost realm, and I'm no longer liable to be ruined in the unfortunate planes and woeful destinies. I am a Satavana. I am a string enterer, irreversible, certain, and destined for higher enlightenment. Noble Disciple declare of himself. So what are the five kinds of fearful foes that have subsided? Buddha said, householder, a killer. On account of such killing, increase fright and force pertaining to the present life, and frightens for pertaining to the future lives. And the killer experiences mental distress and displeasure. So for one who abstains from killing, this fearful foe have subsided. This is for killing. The person who kills beings, increase dangers in this present life and increase danger in future life. If you abstain from killing, all the dangers have subsided. And stealing, also the same, speaking, daily life the same, and engaging sexual misconduct the same, and indulging intoxicant the same. If you break these precepts, there will be multiplication of these present and future dangers. But if you abstain from stealing, sexual misconduct, daily lives, and taking alcohol, the fearful force or dangers will be subsided. So what are the 4 factors of Satavana that he is endowed with? Buddha said, and answer, householder Anatta Bendika, the noble disciples is endowed with experiential faith in the Buddha. The noble disciple is endowed with experiential faith in the Dhamma. The noble disciple, Satavana, is endowed with experiential faith in the Sangha. And he or she is endowed with the virtues cherished by noble ones: unbroken, untorn, unblemished, immortal, freeing, praised by the Ariya, ungrasps, leading to concentration. So how many factors of Satavana, how many qualities of Satavana? There are 4 factors of string entry that he is endowed with. So number 1, again, faith in the Buddha. Number 2, faith in the Dhamma. Number 3, faith in the Sangha. And number 4, endowed with the Sila cherished by the noble ones. So number 1, 2, 3 qualities are Saddha, faith. So regarding this, you need to understand faith. There are 4 types of faith, 4 types of Saddha: Pasanna Saddha, Aukapana Saddha, Agama Saddha, and Adhigama Saddha. 4 kinds of faith. The first one is when you see or when you hear devotional events, you do not reflect anything and you do not reflect the virtues and attributes of that person, you have faith. So that kinds of faith is Pasana Saddha. And number 2, Aukapana Saddha means faith in the Triple Gem, you have faith by understanding their qualities, true qualities, and by having a worthy of respect and devotion, and you have faith. So that kinds of faith is not really firm, that arise concentratedly and consistently, when you have this kinds of faith, you have some guarantee, but you are not assured of never falling down to four woeful states. So another saddha is agama saddha, that is faith from knowledge. There is bodhisattva faith, starting from the time when bodhisattva received the prophecy from Tipingara Buddha until the time he became fully enlightened Buddha. So the powerful kinds of faith bodhisattva had is agama saddha. The kinds of agama saddha never astray and never destroys. So bodhisattva faith that if I fulfill paramis, if I fulfill 10 paramis, dana parami, charity, sila parami, morality, nikama parami, renunciation, pinya parami, wisdom, virya parami, effort, kandi parami, patience, sija parami, truth, aditana parami, determination, metta parami, loving kindness, upekha parami, equanimity. If I fulfill paramis, I will become fully enlightened Buddha. So that kinds of faith never destroys. If bodhisattva faith is destroyed, he will not become fully enlightened Buddha. So bodhisattva faith never astray and never destroys. So he fulfilled four incalculable and 100,000 world cycles, and finally he became fully enlightened Buddha. So that kinds of faith is agama saddha. So adhigama saddha is faith arise when you become Ariya. When you realize Megha-jnana, you become Ariya, and that is saddha, confidence, which comes from realizing the path. So that kinds of adhigama saddha cannot be destroyed. You cannot be swayed or you cannot be shaken by any powerful person. Your faith in the Buddha Dhamma Sangha is totally firm. That is called adhigama saddha. So four saddha: Pasana saddha, Akapana saddha, Agama saddha, and adhigama saddha. Can you follow me? Pasana saddha, Akapana saddha, Agama saddha, adhigama saddha. Here Satavana saddha is adhigama saddha because he practiced mindfulness meditation, and then finally he become Satavana, and then saddha arise. So what saddha? Faith in the Buddha. because he practiced according to the teaching of the Buddha, and finally he became Arya. And then he have confidence in the Buddha, faith in the Buddha. The 9 virtues of the Buddha, iti piso bhagava araham. Noble Buddha is worthy of receiving the special venerations because he has fulfilled with the extraordinary qualities of morality, concentration, wisdom, liberation, knowledge of liberation. Because of this quality, he is worthy. Worthy means Arahant. He is worthy and he is free from mental defilements. If we do not practice meditation, we are very near to the mental defilements. If we practice again and again, mental defilements are far away from us. So Buddha practiced and finally he became fully enlightened Buddha, a fully enlightened one, and he free from all mental defilements. As Sama Sambuddha, fully enlightened Buddha knows the Four Noble Truths and all Dhammas correctly without accepting method from other people with his own knowledge and ability. And Buddha is endowed with Vijacharana Sampanno. The noble disciple is fulfilled with the 3 special knowledge called Vija, and 8 knowledges and 15 fundamental conducts called Charana. So Vija and Charana, 3 Vija, 3 knowledges and 8 knowledges, and Charana conduct, 15 conduct. 15 conduct, 15 conduct. Satta, number 1 is Satta, number 2 Sati, number 3 Hiri, number 4 Uttapa, number 5 Viriya, number 6 Sutta, and number 7 Pinya, etc. So the 15 conducts and 3 knowledges or 8 knowledges. And he have confidence in the qualities of Sukata, Buddha Atta, true and correct speech that is beneficial to all beings. And Buddha is endowed with another qualities, Loka Vidu. He knows and sees everything regarding the world. So 9 qualities of the Buddha, the Satavana have confidence in the Buddha. Worthy one, fully enlightened one, endowed with vision and conduct, one who has gone rightly, the knower of the world, the incomparable leader of men to be tamed, the teachers of gods and men, and the enlightened and the blessed. And then Satavana is endowed with experiential saddha in the Dhamma. So the Dhamma of the Blessed One is well expounded. Dhamma can be realized by oneself. Dhamma gives immediate results. So Dhamma is worthy of invitation, come and see, because it's very pure. Dhamma is fit to be brought to ourselves, because if Dhamma is going along with us, we are safe, and Dhamma can be realized by the wise, each in their mind. So Satavana is endowed with this experiential faith in the Dhamma. And Satavana is endowed with the experiential faith in the Sangha. The order of the disciple of the Blessed One has practiced the true way. They practice the straight way. They practice the way to Nibbana. They practice the proper way. And Sangha is worthy of gift, hospitality, offering reverential salutation, and is an unsurpassed field for merits for the world. So these are the three saddha, three faith in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. And Satavana is endowed with the virtues, sila, cherished by the noble ones, unbroken, undone, etc. So these are the four qualities, four factors of Satavana that he is endowed with. And regarding this, Satavana has seven dana, that means Ariya dana, Ariya properties. Ariya properties are seven. When yogi becomes Satavana, you have seven properties. The first one is Saddha, faith in the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. Number two, Sila, you have pure Sila, cherished by the noble ones. It is very precious for those who keep Sila, all followers of the Buddha, and all those who claim to be the followers of Buddha are expected to keep at least these 5 precepts. So keeping moral precepts or keeping your moral conduct clean is your spiritual treasures. Another properties of Satavana is hiri, moral shame. Moral shame means shame in doing unwholesome acts, shame in killing, shame in stealing, shame in sexual misconduct, etc. Because of this moral shame, people refrain from breaking the rules. People refrain from killing living beings, stealing what is not given, and so on. So this moral shame is also a treasure. So it is a precious treasure for yogis. So long as you possess this moral shame, you will abstain from doing what is wrong. If you do not possess it, then you will do what you like. And most of what people do will be a wholesome act. So moral shame is one of the wholesome qualities we should possess. So here it is called treasure. In Bali it is called dana, D-H-A-N-A, dana. We are going Ariyavasa, here Ariyadana, Ariyadana 7. Number three is hiri, moral shame. Ariyadana, number 4 is uttapa, moral fear. Moral fear means not really fear, but it is fear of consequences of immoral act. Because if we do something wrong, first we will be censured by noble ones, and then we will experience the painful consequences of these immoral acts. Because we are afraid of these painful results, we refrain from doing immoral acts. So this is also a treasure. So these two, moral shame and moral fear, go together. When there is hiri, there is ottappa, and when there is ottappa, there is hiri. So moral shame and moral fear, these two are described in other discourses as protector of the world. So long as beings or so long as people keep these two treasures, moral shame and moral fear, then our world or our society will be in good shape. Once people lose either moral shame and moral fear or both, our society will become contaminated. So these moral shame and moral fear are called lokapala dhammas. Those qualities that protect the world from becoming immoral and so on. So these moral shame and moral fear are also the treasure we should cherish. Another properties Satavana have is called Sutta, learning. Learning is also called treasure. That means learning or understanding the teaching of the Buddha. Not just learning anything. So much learning in Pali, it is called Bahu Sutta. Bahu means many, and Sutta means hearing. So in the olden days, there were no books, whatever you know from hearing at the talks of other people or your teacher. So it is called much learning. So this means knowledgeable about the teaching of the Buddha, both in theory and practice. This is one of the treasure we should possess. So yogi may acquire this treasure because you study many things, you ask many questions, and by having discussion with other people, also by practicing, what you understand. So another Ariyadana Satavana properties is called Jaga. Jaga means giving. Giving away, it is like dana. People are instructed not to be much attached to what they possess, and also to share with other people what they have. It is described that people should be open-handed, something like ready to give to other people. Such people are called those whose hands are washed. That means ones whose hands are washed of stinginess. So who has little stinginess and who has no stinginess, who is always ready to share what you possess with other people, with the people who have sila. Such person is said to have jaga. It is one of the treasure. And the last treasure is Pinya Knowledge. So here also Pinya does not mean just knowledge of anything. Pinya is described as the knowledge of the rise and fall, knowledge of arising and disappearing of psychophysical phenomena. So this Pinya you get only when you practice Vipassana meditation. So you practice Vipassana meditation and you at one stage see the objects you put your mind on, like arising and disappearing. Any object that you take as an object comes and then go away. So when you see them clearly in your mind, you are said to possess this knowledge of rise and fall. This knowledge of rise and fall is described as leading to the exhaustion of suffering. So this knowledge can lead to cessation of suffering, although this is a lower stage of Vipassana knowledge. So this understanding of rise and fall is very important. If we do not see the rise and fall of the objects, we will not see them as impermanent, suffering, and non-soul. So if we do not see three characteristics of anicca, dukkha, and anatta, we will never get wearied with mind and matter. If we do not become weary with mind and matter, we will not want to get out of or to give up mind and matter, to relinquish mind and matter. If we do not want to get off of mind and matter, we will not do anything to get out of them. So it is very important that a person has this understanding of rise and fall through the practice of meditation. So before we see rising and falling of Namarupa, we will not be called a person who has begun the practice of Vipassana, because Vipassana means seeing the three characteristics. Until we see the three characteristics, we are not in Vipassana proper yet. But we are approaching or getting near to Vipassana, and so we call it also Vipassana practice. So this is number 7 treasure. So these Ariyadana we should try to possess. If you become Satavana, now Satta and Sila, and also other 5, altogether 7. So all of us possess these 7 Ariyadana. If possess these 7 Ariyadana, nobody can say that we are poor, although we may be poor in material things. We have no home, we have no other things. Although we will be poor in material things, we are not in a spiritual matter. So it is good to understand this. These qualities are called treasure. These treasures are real treasure and not the material things, because material treasure are common to dangers. That means material treasures can be burnt, they can be washed away by water, tornado, etc. And they can be taken away by the government. They can be taken away by those sons and daughters whom people don't like, and they can be stolen. So the material things are common to this danger, but these 7 Ariyadana are not common to this. Ariyadana cannot be burnt, they cannot be stolen away, and so on. So long as yogi possess these treasure, yogis are rich, yogis are spiritually very rich. And we look back and examine whether we possess these 7 things. So we can be pleased with ourselves that you are collecting, you are accumulating these Ariyadana moment by moment. That you have this treasure. So if we do not have this treasure yet, then we should make effort to possess the treasure. And these 7 treasure Ariyadana are taught by the Buddha. So now there is one thing about the 7. So Ariyadana, Saddha, Sila, Sutta, Jagam, Pinya, Hiri, Ottappa. Remember, Saddha, Sila. So among these 7, do you find sati? No, sati is not there. So there is no sati in Ariyadana. But in one book, sub-commentary, these 7 are given by Saddha, Sati, Hiri, Ottappa, Sutta, and others the same. So instead of Sila, Sati is given as a treasure. Treasure there. So following that, yogis are very rich in sati. Rising, falling, sitting, touching, walking, stretching, bending, seeing, hearing. So all the activities, all the physical and verbal and mental activities, you are doing with sati, mindfulness. So yogi practice satipatthana the whole day continuously, the whole week, the whole month, not only 1 month, 2 months, you practice continuously. Every second you are collecting sati. You have been practicing it for many hours, many weeks, many months. So yogi are especially very rich in the treasure because you are practicing vipassana intensive retreat, intensive mindfulness or satipatthana meditation, and yogis are surely rich in sati. So these are Ariyadana regarding area treasure. Here in Dhamma Dasa Sutta, Ariya have faith in the Buddha, faith in the Dhamma, faith in the Sangha, and pure Sila, and 7 Ariyadana. So we will continue. Next time we have to stop our discourse for today by practicing vipassana meditation by collecting and accumulating sati continuously and meticulously. May all yogis be liberated from all suffering. May all yogis realize the real peace in the very near future.